start flying off, and then they start bombing Air Force bases. It's crazy. And this all happens to happen right after Lindsey Graham visits Ukraine, so keep that in mind. But you're also going to ask yourself, runner, how in the hell do they not have like radar jammers at Air Force bases? Let me cue you in on this. They do have radar jammers. One of the first things that happened in this Ukraine war was they started jamming radar so drones couldn't approach tanks and blow up tanks, because originally these cheap drones were just destroying all the Russian tanks left and right. Well, times have evolved. And if you guys don't know what this is a spool of about 5 miles of fiber optic line. So all communications, they are sending data signals down the fiber optic line. This stream right now is through a fiber optic line that gives me like over a gigabyte per second, right? They do all their communications through the fiber optic line. You can shoot as much jammers as you want at this. It will run its signal through the bottom of this line, and it can go up to like 5 miles running off fiber optics. This is a warhead up top. These are little cameras and telemetry sensors and all that. And this bad boy runs across the field. And you're like, bullshit. They don't do it. This is crazy. It's not really happening. Yeah. Ukraine has improvised and figured out how to change the tides of war. It doesn't matter how many tanks you have. It doesn't matter how many submarines you have. It's coming down into a drone warfare. Frankly, I wouldn't have believed this 5 years ago, but essentially IEDs now fly. And this is a 3D printed drone that's dropping multiple bombs out of it, showing you. This stuff's crazy. You're talking about a device that costs less than $2,000 that can take out tanks and Air Force bombers, like nuclear bombers. It's insane. MiG-29s, MiG-25s, Su-31s have been destroyed by 3D printed DJI drones or homemade drones, right? And you're like, you're going to call bullshit. That's literally like taking out tanks, which is crazy because you think of tanks as being like the coolest thing in the world. And if you also say I'm crazy about the fiber optics because this stuff sounds crazy, I would not have understood this video 5 years ago. I would not have, but I understand it now. And let me crank the resolution up because that's ridiculous. This is a guy walking across a battlefield in Ukraine, and the fiber optic lines from all the drones that have been run over it are getting caught in his legs. Those are the spent fiber optic lines from the drones. Thousands of drones, fiber optic lines. Isn't that crazy? So you ask yourself, how do you tie this into a chart, runner? I'm bullish on war ending, but the other thing you have to realize is war is evolving. Tanks used to be unbelievably game-changing in the battlefield. Now they're not really. And you're seeing drones become the massive benefits of war. And you're seeing Palantir send it.